So first weekend of June, we were back at, what was it, round 4, I think, of Extreme Festival for BMW M Performance Parts Race Series 2026. And my very, very reliable and sturdy steed unfortunately decided to find its first hiccup. So weekend was going fantastic. Did the fastest ever lap time I've done in this E90. Did a 11.2 or no, 11.1. I think it was close to 11.0. Winter time, so nice cold temperatures, really great. So I was really proud of that, and all the development and practice is coming to bring some results. So got the car onto pole, started first, had a great first race, and took a lights to flags victory. Race 2 is always really fun because we've got the reverse grid, and that's where we will invert the first 5. So finishing first in race 1, I would start 5th in race 2, and you've got to go chase down your competitors. And so that was going really nicely. Had really great battles from lap 1, from corner 1, and eventually got into 3rd position and was really keen to start hunting down 2nd and 1st. Probably only had, I think, 3 or 4 laps left, and suddenly went into corner 4, or actually just before corner 4 at Swartkorps, and I heard a different tone from the motor. No engine fault codes or anything like that, just different tone from the motor. Sounded a bit like a misfire. I've had that before, kind of cleaned it up after a straight or 2, and was just hoping that that would be the same again. Unfortunately, it didn't go away. So no smoke, but just running on 5 cylinders, in a really strong position in the championship. So I wanted to see what could I still eke out. I was able to try and defend 3rd position from one of my strong competitors, Tian, and was able to keep it together, running on, I think, 5 or 4 cylinders to fetch 3rd. Brought the car into the pits, and I ready, as I'm gearing down, I could feel this car's not running nicely. Still no smoke, but just this car is misfiring horribly, and it's splittering and splattering. And eventually got into the pits and wanted to just reverse into my bay, and the car just cut out. And then for about 50 to 60 seconds afterwards, wouldn't even start. So pushed it back into the pits. Long story short, red codes, and I've got crank position sensor fault, and I had ignition and misfire fault codes on cylinder 4. Looks like the misfire in cylinder 4 was pretty simple. I had some failure of the ignition coil. Looks like I got some oil into the kind of spark plug tube area, and I think that meant that pencil coil, which attaches with just kind of friction and suction on the spark plug, that kind of went away. So we unfortunately lost that coil. But the crank position sensor was a head scratcher. So loaded up the car, took some work to get that onto the trailer, and decided to let's investigate that once we get back home. Took the vehicle back home, expected, cool, this will be simple. Let's take the intake manifold off and let's get a new crank position sensor inside there. Put a new crank position sensor in, cleaned up all the spark plugs, got a new ignition coil in there, and still same problem. Crank position sensor still keep giving me that fault. Went to go take a look inside, and that's when I started scratching my head, looking for a kind of magnetic toothed wheel, where the crank position sensor is supposed to pick up on, and there was nothing. It's a smooth surface. It's a flat piece of the crankshaft. So sent this off to some of our trusted colleagues, specifically Mish and Nordine at TuneTech, and said, hey, have you guys seen this before? What's up? They said, yeah, that motor is no good no more. And so here we are, and we've got the first time where, unfortunately, it's not a simple fix on the N52. So N52, we're going to have to pull this motor. We're going to have to take a look at what's happened at the crank, to see if that reluctor ring is somewhere swimming in the sump. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be an easy fix. I don't think that ring has just walked off of the crank and sitting there nicely, because I ran the car for a couple extra laps at full race pace, full load. And so I'm expecting a lot of broken pieces sitting in my sump. Hopefully the oil pump hasn't sucked up anything just yet. But
The bizarre thing, of course, is that the engine runs with no crank sensor.
engine runs really impressively. So after solving that ignition coil issue, and getting rid of that, the car starts up. It's got a really long start, but once it's there, you can kind of keep it going. It'll vaguely idle. I've got some new spark plugs in there. Obviously, no oil on the spark plugs or ignition coils, and it runs. It just sounds like it's got a really racy camshaft profile, but it runs like shit.
So it obviously uses the cam sensors to guess some kind of default crank position and runs off that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I tried a couple of crank position sensors because I thought I was going nuts. And after, I think, crank position number 3 from a known good car, it said, look, something else is wrong. So we've got a nice scrapyard find here. Craig found an E70 X5, which had this N52 motor. This is a little different to what I've got in the car. So I've got an early generation N52, which is what they call the kind of silver top, the magnesium valve cover. Subsequently, after about race 1 or 2, we actually changed to an N52K type of valve cover on that car because the magnesium valve covers just aren't available aftermarket. So we've got a nice aluminium valve cover on there, but ordinarily that's got the magnesium valve cover. This is a normal, black top, plastic top N52, which I think was deemed the N52K. So this motor over here, got it for a bargain. We're also hunting for a gearbox and found one at the same scrapyard because my 3rd and 4th gear synchros have been tired after quite a lot of years of abuse. And so we're working on this now to get this into there and take that out of there and see what's gone wrong. So stay tuned and let's see what's happened.